You don't apply for a job at the Sinaloa Cartel. You're born into it, cornered into it, or you walk in through a door you can never walk back out of. It is the most powerful drug trafficking organization on the planet, and it has a rank for everyone. The Sinaloa Cartel moves more drugs into the United States than any other organization in history. More than the Colombians ever did. More than anyone. At its peak, it controlled smuggling routes across 50 countries, earned billions of dollars a year, and ran operations so organized it made some Fortune 500 companies look sloppy. But here's the thing most people don't understand. It's not just a gang, it's a pyramid, a system. And depending on where you sit inside that system, your daily life looks completely different. Today, we're going to walk through every level of that pyramid, from the kid running errands on a dirt road in Culiacán, all the way to the man sitting at the very top. This is what it's like to be every rank inside the Sinaloa Cartel. You are 14, maybe 15. You grew up in a small town in Sinaloa, Mexico, and you've watched men in your neighborhood drive nice trucks and wear gold watches your whole life. School hasn't done much for your family. Your dad works construction when there's work, and there isn't always work. One day, an older guy in the neighborhood offers you 500 pesos a day, about $25, to sit at the end of a road and text a number when you see police vehicles pass through. That's it. That's the whole job. You are a halcón, a hawk, a lookout. You sit, you watch, you text. Sometimes nothing happens all day. Sometimes a convoy rolls through and your phone blows up. You don't know what your texts trigger. You don't want to know. The money feels enormous to you. You tell your mom you're doing odd jobs. She probably suspects something. She doesn't ask. This is the entry point. This is where most people begin. And the dangerous truth is, it barely feels like crime at first. It feels like easy money for doing almost nothing. That's by design.
You are older now, or maybe you were recruited differently, desperate, broke, maybe threatened. Either way, you are now a mule, a burrero. Your job is to move product. Sometimes that means swallowing balloons filled with heroin and crossing a border checkpoint, stomach full and face completely calm. Sometimes it means driving a car with a hidden compartment packed with fentanyl across the Arizona border. You are given a route, a car, a contact number, instructions on what to say if you're stopped. You are not told what happens to you if you get caught. Though you already know, you spend years in an American federal prison. And you are not told what happens to you if you lose the product, though you also already know that. The pay is a few $1,000s per run, sometimes less. The risk is federal charges, 5 to 10 years, and your family back home in a vulnerable position. You do it anyway. Because for a lot of people at this level, the alternative feels worse.
This is where things get dark fast. You are not delivering drugs. You are delivering consequences. A Sicario is an assassin, an enforcer, a soldier. You are the reason the cartel's orders get followed. When a dealer skims money off the top, you're the visit they receive. When a rival moves into the wrong plaza, you're the response. You are usually recruited young, sometimes as early as 16 or 17, often from areas with no economic alternatives. You are given weapons training, a salary, and in some cases a kind of brotherhood that feels more real than anything you've had before. Your day-to-day life swings between long stretches of boredom and moments of extreme controlled violence. You follow orders. You don't ask who gave them or why. Asking questions is how you become the target instead of the one carrying out the job. The money is better here, potentially several $1,000s a month, but the life expectancy is short. Sicarios are expendable. They know this, and most of them don't expect to live past 30.
Now you have survived long enough or proven yourself smart enough to run something. A plaza boss controls a specific geographic territory, a city, a border crossing, a region. You are responsible for every operation inside that plaza. The lookouts, the mules, the enforcers, the local police who are on payroll, the politicians who look the other way, all of it flows through you. You collect taxes from every drug sale in your territory. You pay up the chain and keep your cut. You settle disputes. You manage relationships with law enforcement, with local business owners, with rival organizations along your borders. You live well. You have bodyguards. You have a nice house, sometimes multiple houses. You have people who are loyal to you. But you also have enemies, rivals who want your plaza, bosses above you who will replace you the moment your numbers drop or your territory becomes a problem, and a government that now considers you a high-value target. You are powerful. You are also always being watched, from above and from below.
Above the plaza bosses sit the capos. These are the men who oversee entire states, entire smuggling corridors, entire networks of plazas. They are businessmen as much as criminals. They negotiate supply deals with producers in Colombia, Peru, and Afghanistan. They manage logistics across thousands of miles. They hire lawyers, accountants, and corrupt officials. At this level, you rarely touch drugs. You never touch weapons. You manage. Your face is less known than the bosses below you, which is intentional. You stay in the background. You move between safe houses. You communicate through layers of intermediaries, specifically so that nothing can be traced back to you directly. Your wealth is extraordinary. Hundreds of millions of dollars laundered through construction companies, ranches, restaurants, and real estate. But at this level, the threat isn't just rivals. It's the United States government, the DEA, the FBI, Interpol. You are on international wanted lists. Extradition is the word that wakes you up at night, because unlike a Mexican prison, which can be managed, a U.S. federal supermax cannot.
For decades, this was one man, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Today, after his capture and life sentence in a U.S. prison, the cartel is run by his sons, known as Los Chapitos, and a handful of other senior leaders, including Ismael El Mayo Zambada, who was himself arrested in 2024. At the very top, your life doesn't look like what you'd expect. You don't walk the streets. You rarely appear in public. You live in a rotating series of safe houses, ranches, and remote locations. Your face hasn't been photographed in years. You communicate through a chain of trusted intermediaries. Even your own soldiers don't know exactly where you are. You make decisions that affect the global drug supply. You approve or deny alliances with other criminal organizations. You decide which politicians get funded and which ones become problems. You are, in the eyes of many people in your home region, something close to a folk legend, the man who came from nothing and built an empire. But here's the reality at the top. You are alone in a way that almost no one else on earth is. You cannot trust anyone completely. Every person around you is a potential informant, a potential rival, or a potential threat. You have everything, money, power, loyalty, and you cannot leave. You cannot retire. You cannot walk away. El Chapo spent his final years before capture living in a tunnel system under a house, hiding from the most powerful military in the world, eating simple food, and running a billion-dollar operation from a cell phone. That is the top of the pyramid.
Every single rank in the Sinaloa Cartel tells the same story, just from a different angle. The lookout thinks he's just making a little extra money. The mule thinks it's just one run. The Sicario thinks he's found a brotherhood. The plaza boss thinks he's finally in control. The capo thinks his layers of protection will hold. And the man at the top, the one who has everything, can't leave his house. The cartel doesn't just sell drugs, it sells the illusion that the next rank up is where safety lives, where the real money is, where you'll finally be untouchable. But every rank carries the same ending: prison, violence, or a life spent looking over your shoulder. The pyramid never protects the people inside it. It just uses them until it doesn't need them anymore. Like, subscribe, and comment which rank surprised you the most.